Nathan, could you please open the PPT and explain your topic?
Yeah, sure. Pastarika, good afternoon. My name is Janardhan. Today I am explaining about the substitution variable. Substitution variable act as like a global parameters. It continuously changes. So in this substitution variables, I will show them my PPT and I will explain about it. Coming to the second slide. Now we will see how to use the user substitution variables in the following artifacts like data forms and runtime prompt and business rules smart view. So first I am going to create the substitution variable. So then I will show the next slide. Can in creation of the substitution variables, can you show me how to create substitution variables for the following use cases? In these cases, use case one is consider a user run consolidation monthly. For example, user want to update the variable every month. Consider June for this use case. And use case 2 is consider a user runs consolidation yearly. For example, user want to update the variable every year. Consider FY20 for the this case. So I will show the navigation how to create the substitution variable. So under the navigator, I am in the tools in the variables section. So go to the substitution variable. In here you can create the substitution variable for month and year. So if you select the, if you click the add-on button, it will comes under the all cubes. If you want to create the separately, then you can create it. Which want you can select it, console or red cube. So I am creating the all cube, and all cubes I am creating like one. So I am give the name and selected the June as it and save it. Yeah, it was saved, and I am again going to PPT. So I have created the for the user case one, and now I am creating for the user case two. In use case two, I am creating another one. For month, I am creating. So then save it. So I have created both use cases. I have created the variables. Then I am going to the PPT. So in these two cases, I have created, and then I am going to the next slide. So in this slide, I am using how to use the substitution variables in data form. In data forms, we can use the substitution variables in the use case. Use account dimensions in row and use substitution variables of year and period dimensions in the column. Choose generation 2 members of the every other dimension. Preview data and form with this use case. So now I am going to forms. Then I will show the how to create the forms and enable how to enable the variables in the forms. So in here I am creating the new form. Or I will show the pre-built. I have earlier created one form. I will show through that one. So in this one, I have created the already form, and I have selected accounts as a generation accounts and rows, and in the substitution variables in the columns. So in the layout, the point of view is actual, and all the members I have selected the generation 2. So here I am going to select the substitution variables and click on the variables and select the substitution variables and take it as the current year. So if you have selected years, you can go to the select the FY20. So I am selecting the FY20. Click on OK. Then go to the current month. So in the period, I have given the current month. And add it and click on OK. Then it will save. And earlier I have created, I am deleting for right now. I will show the next slide. So then go to the preview. So it will comes as a FY20 and June. So it is in my application, the close button is not working. That's why I'm refreshing. So I'm going to the PPT. In the first case and second use case, I have created the use account and a dimension in the rows and substitution variables of the year, and I create dimensions in column and choose generation to members of the every year dimension. So preview date and form with the use case I have created already. Then I have created the use case 2. In the use case 2, hardcore the year and period end period dimensions in another column along with use case 1 to explain in the difference between the hard coded member the substitution variable values. In the use case 2, I am creating. So go to the form earlier I have created that one. I am selecting the monthly variable which is I have created earlier. Then go to the layout. Then click on the column, select A and add column in here. Then we can give the hard code. Hard coded means it is we are giving the manually. So in that I have edit and go to the year and which year you want you can create. I am selecting FY20. Before that I am reviewing the variable. Then click on OK. Then go to the current month and edit it. So in this I am selecting the Q1 is like a Jan. So it was removing. Then go to the preview and save it and preview. So here is the hard coded code. This is the process for the creation of this. Then going back to the presentation. In the preview data form by changing the substitution variable for June to July. Explain how to dynamically we can use substitution variable while designing the forms and its purpose. Just create period dimension in column next to the substitution variable member column by picking up June, which need to explain and talk on the selection of the member of the period dimension. June or July for that member on which month change to how to painful to change the hard coded model in the designing form. So here is he asked for the June and July. Then I am changing the forms because of I have selected Jan. Go to the forms and go to the monthly variables which you have created the form and go to the layout. And I am giving as a June. Then save it and go to the preview. And here is the good because of my application is not working that close button. That's my I'm going back and from here. Go save it and finish it. Then coming to the PPT. So here is I am the going to next slide. In user variable using the substitution variables in the RTP. RTP means runtime prompt. So in the substitution variable, how we use the runtime prompt? Can we pass the substitution variable as a value in the prompt? Yes. If yes, can the prompt value be limited only to the value assigned to the substitution variable? And user requirement, how can a user select only the prompt value? So I am going to the navigation and refresh it to go to the back. Under the create and manage, go to the rules card. In the rules card, you can select the APM cloud, and I'm selecting the APM cloud and go to the actions. I'm clicking on the variable designer for creating the runtime prompt. So after that, you can enable the see the EPM cloud and cloud global and Nokia, which is the Nokia means it is my application, and global means it will show the all the global level. So I'm selecting the global level and I am creating the new one. So in this one, I am creating the RTP underscore month and go to the type. In the type is you can select the numeric or integer and a string and cross dimension, member, members, percent and string as a number and date as number and member range. In these all options, we are basically using the regularly members and member. So now I am using the member and under the dimension type, you can select the which dimension you want. I'm selecting the right now about the month. So that's why I'm selecting the period. Under the period, you can give the limit and go to the PPT. So here is the user requirement. How can a user select the prompt value? Defaulted to a value assigned to the substitution variable. Example, if the consolidation to run the in the month of the June, which is the month passed in the substitution variable. Rest of the months should be not be displayed in the section of the prompt value. So I'm going to the application. So I'm creating the limit as I'm selecting the RTP and give as the name, which is I have created the substitution variable. I am going to the back. In substitution variable, I have created earlier. So that's I'm taking that one, which is I have created. That's why I'm taking this one because of I'm taking the month period. So give is that is name and give the emphasis and default value also same one. And text, if you want to give any text, you can write it here. So then save it in RTP months is already existed. That's why it's not showing error. So now I'm showing the earlier created one, RTP month. So now I can see earlier created one. In the period, I have selected period and limits I have given the current month and default values current month and enter the text type is please enter the data for the month. Then I am showing RTP year. In the RTP year, I am given the name as RTP year, and I have selected the member, and the dimension type is I have taken the year, and the limits as the current year, and default values as it current year, which is I have created in the substitution variable, and I have given the name as the text for the month. So then save it as. In the fifth slide, I have created a which is I have mentioned in earlier. So then go to the next slide. Can we use the substitution variable in the business rules? So can you show me how to pass a substitution variable in BR? BR means a business rule. Which of the following design in the recommended? So I'm going to the business rule. Go to the system view. Then you can expand it to the application and then go to the console and select the rules card. Under the rules card I have which is I have created earlier, that is the custom one or custom two. So I am clicking on that. So in this case I am creating this one. So coming to the PPT, which of the following design is recommended? So hard coding June is the in the business rule, using the substitution variable created for month, and using the RTP created for month with the substitution variable as per user requirement. In the these three cases, I am recommended is the using the RTP created for the month with the substitution variable, because of user able to see how he creating the substitution variable, and when you will enter the data, so he can see this here. And the hard coding means it is the creating the manually in the June in the business rule, so it will not recommended to the user. So I will show the navigation. So if you want to create the user code, then I am showing the user case 1 hard coding in the June. So here is the I have given the fix and end. I will show again. Fix and I am giving the June and click on enter. End fix. So here is the rule for one, and then I am giving the current month also. So and then fix RTP, and then I am creating the RTP. So in the RTP I am going to the PPT. So in the third scenario, using the RTP created for month with the substitution variable as per user requirement. So I am going to create the RTP for the third scenario. So in the third scenario, fixed and RTP month is and fixed. This is for the rule for the RTP. So I am clicking on the save and validate. It was taking some time because of my application is a bit slow. And save it and validate again. RTP month. and I'm giving the year. Here it is. That's why it got an error. The custom one I have created earlier one. That's why I am going to take this one. And save it is. It was saved, and then go to the PPT. In the coming slide, I am showing. So using substitution variable in the smart view. In the smart view, can you show me how to insert a substitution variable in a report creating using ad hoc analysis? In tip is for ad hoc analysis, use the same design of the data form as per use the case 1 of the slide 4. So use case present the report by the changing the substitution variable values from June to Jan for period dimension, FY20 to FY21 for year dimension. In the with this use case, users should see the considerate report for from June to 20 to Jan 21 dynamically by changing the period at the year dimension as per the above the case. Then I am showing the navigation, which is have to log in. So in this, I am clicking the smart view and go to the panel. In shared connection, I'm giving the credentials to the my shared connection. The shared connection, I have created the connection with my credentials and click on the EPM cloud. In the cloud, you can expand it as an application and then go to the library. So here is I am taking the monthly variables, which is I have created earlier. And before that, I am going to the options. In these options, I am checking for the is it suppress missing blocks is enabled or not. If it is enabled, I am uncheck the box and then go to click on OK. Then monthly variable. In the monthly variable, you can select and click on ad hoc analysis. In the ad hoc analysis, you can see the as I have given the value for the FY20 and June. So in this scenario, I am changing the my rule. In the substitution variable I have created. So that's why I'm giving the that rule. Then click on enter and then go to the refresh. So before that I'm showing changing the substitution variable. So then we can find the value. First I am changing the current year is the FY22 and month is the changing to Jan. Then click on save. and go to the smart view. Then you can click on refresh. I'm sent. Click on enter and refresh it. So it will shows the FY22 because I have changed the value in the substitution value. Likewise, we can change the substitution value for regular periods. And I am going to the change the June as the Jan. So you can refresh it and then go to the substitution variable and change it as the old one like June, and I'm editing to Jan, and current year is like 2020. Then save. Click on enter and refresh it. So it was changed like this. We can change it in the smart view. So coming to the next slide, in the summary, in this topic, it is concluded to show us the using of substitution variables in the following artifacts in the data forms and runtime prompt and business rules in the smart view. In the smart views, we don't have the proper values in my application. That's why I am unable to show the values. In the client location, they have the values. They can give the values. That's in that time I can show the values by reporting. That's it from my side.